Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. So a couple of years ago when we booked P&O Arvia for our 20th wedding anniversary, we almost didn't book because all the reviews were so negative. A year later on P&O Iona, if I was offered a way home just after 2 days, I would have taken it. Although to be fair, the cruise did get a lot better as the week went on. And finally, when I booked Arcadia with my eldest daughter, although we really loved the ship, we didn't really expect to fight for a seat in the buffet just for a cup of tea. So why does the 6,000 passenger giant like P&O Arvia get such a bad rap? And does the 2,000 passenger classic like Arcadia actually live up to the hype? So today we're going to do the ultimate P&O showdown, no brochures, no fluff, just our honest experiences. Now let's be real about this, 6,000 people on a cruise ship is a lot of people, and on our Iona cruise there were also 1,600 kids on board as it was a UK school holiday. It was so busy that it came across as the cruise felt stressed and some of the crew's attitude was, well, a little hit or miss. On Arvia, even though it's the same size, and despite the bad rap it gets online, we personally didn't have any major issues. The seating was better and we never really had to wander around searching for a spot to sit and have a drink. Whether we were just lucky or not, I don't know. But on the bigger ships, the crowd is possibly the price you pay for more of the well factor. On Arcadia, you do expect peace and quiet. But because the ship is smaller, the rooms could possibly fill up fast. Although again, I never really had a problem finding somewhere to sit for a drink. That said, the buffet on Arcadia was a nightmare. It was so busy that sometimes finding a table felt like an impossible task. I actually found it harder to get a seat for breakfast on Arcadia than I did on Arvia or even Iona. When it comes to atmosphere, Arvia is like a floating city. It's spotless, the crew were genuinely happy, and the Sky Dome was a great all-weather space, especially when that roof is retracted. People do call it Butlins at Sea, and yes, I can certainly see why, but for us and on our trip, it was well run. Now compare that to P&O Arcadia. It's a classic ship and it has such a great soul. It's quiet and elegant, but here's the kicker for 2026. P&O are opening up ships Arcadia and Aurora to families on selected dates, and that starts in this December. Personally, I think it's a shame, as that adults-only charm is one of Arcadia's biggest selling points. So if you add 500 kids into the mix with no designated kids clubs or big activities, the question is, will it still be a ship with that same classic charm? The dining debate. This is where the big ships probably win, but only if food is your thing. On Arvia, the included dining was great. You've got the 6th Street Diner, which is like a 1950s style American diner, the Olive Grove Mediterranean style restaurant, the Keys with a selection of fish and chips, Asian cuisine and roast dinners that are served in a Yorkshire pudding. There's your to-go food like pizzas, burgers, 3 main dining rooms and the Horizon Buffet. This buffet restaurant to us, however, was a bit of a letdown, but with so many other places to go, it really didn't matter at all. On Arcadia, the main dining room was lovely, and we ended up eating there for breakfast and lunch as well as dinner, and it wasn't just to guarantee a seat. The Belvedere buffet on Arcadia was a real disappointment. It was constantly packed and the options, I'm afraid to say, did feel very limited. So if you're used to the endless choice on the bigger ships, the smaller ships buffet on Arcadia might leave you, well, a little disappointed. When it comes to entertainment, all 3 ships do all the standard quizzes, karaoke, lounge singers, pianists and theatre shows. On Arvia, you also have aerial artists in the atrium that put on regular performances as well as live entertainment in the Sky Dome. I have to say that the theatre shows we saw were very well performed and the ship's house performers were all really good too. If you've seen any of our other P&O reviews before, you'll know that one of my favourite spots is the Crow's Nest, so we were pleased to find that there was one on all 3 ships. So why did Arvia get a bad rap? I think it's possibly expectations. If you want Royal Caribbean style thrills like zip lines, rock walls and flow riders, then Arvia may disappoint you. Because the only things it really has is the mini golf course, the cinema and a high ropes course that'll cost you extra. But if you want a clean ship, great staff and reasonable prices, Arvia is actually a bargain. On the flip side, P&O Arcadia is for the cruiser who wants to escape the noise, but you have to accept it's an older ship with smaller cabins and a buffet that can't quite handle the rush. The service can also make or break a cruise. On Iona, our cabin wasn't even clean for 3 days. Guest services were actually quite defensive about it. It really soured the start of the trip. But on Arcadia, the staff were incredible. They didn't just give you the standard, "Is this your first cruise, sir?" small talk. They actually held proper conversations with you. And on Arvia, the crew were fantastic and professional. It just goes to show that one bad steward or one defensive receptionist can change your whole view of your cruise holiday. So which do you think would be for you? You could go big with P&O Arvia or Iona. That's if you want the modern British resort feel, especially if you're a family, or you love having 10 different dinner options every night like the Keys or 6th Street Diner, and you don't mind a big crowd. Or you could go small like P&O Arcadia. This is if you want to relax and you don't care about big activities like the water slides and zip lines, and like a traditional feel with elegance and soul, and a wraparound promenade. Just make sure you check if your 2026 date is one of the new multi-generational family cruises before you book. That is, if you're booking an adults-only cruise, of course. But wait! There is a ship right in the middle. Later this year, we're going to be stepping on board P&O Britannia. She's smaller than the Giants, but bigger than Arcadia, so can't wait to see if she is the perfect mix of both. So, what do you think? Do you like the mega ships or the classics? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe to see how we get on with P&O Britannia later in the year. So until next time, thanks for watching and happy cruising.